Hello, and welcome to
Papi Approved Movies.
My name is Papi.
And I'm Natalie.
On our podcast, we will review and critique my favorite PG-13 movies.
Movies that I wasn't allowed to watch until I turned 13.
Every other week, Natalie and I will watch a new PG-13 movie.
And I'll see if Papi's movies live up to the hype.
Which, of course, they will.
Today we're going to be watching Ender's Game.
Before we begin, there will be spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie and don't want it to be spoiled,
Press pause and come back when you're finished. Now, Papi, tell me the deets on this movie.
okay. Ender's Game came out in 2013, just 10 years ago, with a runtime of 1 hour and 54 minutes. It's streaming on Peacock. It was written by Gavin Hood, based on the novel by Orson Scott Card, and directed by Gavin Hood. The main stars are Asa Butterfield, Harrison Ford, and Haley Steinfeld. Fun Facts is based on a famous sci-fi novel collection. The movie was a gigantic box office flop. The planned sequels were scrapped. Yeah, they had like a whole franchise was going to come out and didn't do very well. So what do you think, Nat?
But somehow it's still Papi approved. But you know what?
It's a great movie.
It's not Natalie approved.
Not Natalie approved? What you didn't like it?
No.
You didn't like it before you watched it, so I don't know.
I didn't like it.
Okay, what did you rate it?
2 stars.
2 stars! Oh my gosh, you're so predictable. What I'm going to do next time, I'm going to write it in the notes. I'm going to write your stars before I even watch the movie. So the next movie that we're going to watch, I'm going to write the stars in the corner. I'll guess what your stars are before you even watch the movie.
It's not fair.
I bet you I'm going to be 97% correct.
I don't think you will be.
All right.
Why don't we get into the recap?
Okay. We see a flashback of Earth 50 years ago. Aliens named the Formics are attacking Earth. The defense forces were able to stop them with the help of the commander, Mazer Rackham. That's a cool name.
Mazer Rackham.
Hi, my name is Mazer Rackham.
That sounds like an action figure.
I think so. Ever since that day, Earth's forces have been
like
preparing.
Your favorite Mazer Rackham doll.
Yeah, probably. You should have one. It should be on your nightstand right there where you go to sleep. Ever since that day, Earth forces have been preparing for the return of the Formics by training children to be military commanders. What do you think about that whole, let's use children to be the leaders of our war?
That was kind of weird. Why?
Because I guess children are less sympathetic. You can train them from younger to be cold and heartless and just be okay with killing.
No. You would think to get some old people.
I don't know.
Because they're going to die anyways.
Well, everybody's going to die if they get invaded.
Yeah, but why would you take children? It doesn't make any sense.
Because you can train them from a young age to be without feeling.
Well, that's not the point. They're already born with feeling.
You think children are born with feelings like kindness and consideration and empathy?
Yes. Well, empathy, everyone's born with it. That's why psychopaths are people that are born without empathy.
I don't know. I mean, do you think babies are empathetic? They don't care. They just throw up everywhere and pee and poo.
Haven't you seen those videos of the moms pretending to get hit and then the babies start crying?
Yeah, I've also seen where people pretend to get hurt and babies start laughing all the time.
That means they have emotions, like humor.
Yeah, no, no heart at all. I don't think so. Babies don't have anything like that.
Yes, they do.
All right, well.
We just watched a video about babies.
It was a fictional movie, though. Yes.
I think it's real.
All right. We meet Ender Wiggins, a boy genius being groomed by the military. He's being bullied by some older kids while his commanding officers, Colonel Graff and Major Anderson, watch on. Ender beats one of the classmates in a simulation game, and then the classmate wants revenge and attacks him. Ender gets the better of him and doesn't stop beating on him. Graff seems happy.
That's embarrassing. First you lose a game, then you try to beat this kid up because you're embarrassed, and then you get beat up. That's just so embarrassing.
But he had a whole bunch of his crew with him, and they didn't help him out either.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why. They just stood there. Maybe they didn't want to get beat up either, but all of them against this one little kid would have won, so I think it was stupid.
Also, I think his commanding officers are just watching this one kid just get beat up. What are they doing?
Like, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah,
Like, these adults are... See, these adults have zero empathy. Why can't they be fighting the war?
Because they're old already. Their reflexes are too slow for the upcoming war.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, Ender doesn't have any empathy because he just beat up that kid.
Well, you think he's thinking about, like, I hate them.
Yeah, I guess.
He's not going to go up to some random, like, little kid and just start beating them up.
Wow,
because he feels like it. He's only beating them up because they started it.
So he beat him up, but then he didn't stop beating him up. And he said, the reason I didn't stop beating him up is so that way they won't ever attack me again. So it's self-defense, but at the same time, pretty cruel. Ender goes, pretty cool. Pretty cruel. Ender goes home and we meet his older brother, Peter, and sister, Valentine. They were once groomed for leadership, but didn't make it. Peter for being too vicious, and Val for being too kind.
See, so they can't have vicious children that are heartless.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's all it was, is viciousness, not intelligence.
Oh.
Graf and Anderson came over to their house to tell Ender he's going to battle school. Graf's tactic to groom Ender as a leader is to isolate him from everyone else. Also, I don't get it. Like, if you want him to be a leader, you would want him
to lead.
Yeah. You would put him in a group with a bunch of people that need a leader, like followers, and then he can take over.
Yeah, I so stupid.
Ender meets a new friend named Bean on the trip to battle school. Ender's assigned a room and a bunk on the leopard team.
All these kids are so nerdy and annoying. Like, when he first meets Bean, Bean's like, you're late. Like, why does it matter?
Because Bean likes punctuality. I don't blame him. He's very smart.
Like, it has nothing to do with you, Bean. Just shut up. And, like, when in the beginning...
Bean is awesome, bro. Bean's, like, the coolest character in the whole show.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
And in the beginning, when he, like, bully loses his game, he's like, that sucks. And then Ender's like, you miscalculated your trajectory. Like, shut up.
All right. They are geniuses, but okay.
They're just annoying. You can be a genius and not annoying.
Then Sergeant Dapp comes in. He's like this drill sergeant. And he just starts yelling at everyone. Ender has an issue with authority, and they butt heads. Classes and training begins, and it's very intense. They are introduced to the battle room, the big war zone in zero gravity. They each get a blaster which will freeze the person they shoot. At battle school, each team plays each other for rankings and points. The game they play is based on points, but a team can automatically win if they get one of their players into the enemy's base. Ender and Bean experiment with the blasters, and they learn how to move in zero gravity. Don't you like that, the war zone? Did you think that was cool? How they were like moving around and shooting each other and doing formations? You didn't like any of that?
Not really. It didn't spark something.
It didn't spark joy in your heart?
It didn't spark joy. I would have thrown it out.
No, I thought that was so cool, man. It was entertaining to watch. They were doing all these cool tactics and maneuvers. I liked it. The classes continue and everyone's competing for a spot to go to command school. Ender and Bean are the smartest in the class, and they make friends with Eli. They also team up against a bully named Bernard. Ender is starting to be a leader. At bedtime, Ender finds the game on his tablet. It's a mind game Anderson created to learn more about the cadets. Ender comes to an impossible situation and resorts to violence to win. Anderson tells Graf that she's never seen anyone do that before. They decide to send Ender to another team. That's the other thing. Like, he's finally becoming a leader. They're like, now kick him out of there and put him on another team. Make it harder.
See, these adults, they're just not thinking straight.
Well, I mean, the movie ends. They win. So everything they did led them to victory. But it seems weird how they got there. Ender joins the Salamanders. I love that name. I used to have a friend at work. His name was Sal. I'd be like, Salamander, what's going on? I liked him. He was cool.
Salamanders are funny creatures.
Yeah. Anyway, this team's called the Salamanders, whose commander, Bonzo, is an awful bully. He yells at Ender and tells him to stay out of the way, and actually physically attacks him. Petra, a member of the Salamander, befriends Ender, and they train together. She is a great shot.
She's also annoying.
I loved her. I thought she was great.
I think she's also annoying.
Best shooter in the place. Smart and helped train him, right? I wonder if there was like a love interest there. Never got there. They're obviously children, so.
It felt like they were trying to do that. Like she was just in there for a love interest and then it never happened.
Well, no, she's part of the winning team. I mean, she goes to command school.
I know, but like it seems as if they put her in there for a love interest for Ender and then it doesn't happen and then it just feels weird.
Yeah. Bonzo leads the salamanders to battle against the leopards. He tells Ender not to step out of the base at all. Ender does what he is told until Petra takes a hit. Ender goes after her, which infuriates Bonzo. Then Ender and Petra work together and get many kills that help the salamanders win.
I don't know what's up with Bonzo and how he, can't let anyone near Petra or whatever.
Maybe he likes her.
But, he seems older than them.
No, they're all about the same age. No, some of the kids seem a little bit older. They're just bigger. But he doesn't, make a move on her. You know?
Yeah, he's just,
just an angry dude. And he's tiny. He's smaller than everybody.
Yeah.
He just looks...
His face just looks older.
Yeah, he just looks a lot older. Anyways, Bonzo punches Ender with 2 of his goons for insubordination.
What a wonderful method of teaching.
That night, Ender keeps playing the mind game, and the game takes a mind of its own. Did you see that? You see how he just that wordplay right there? Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Give it to me. He sees a Formic and it turns into Val. She leads him to a collapsed castle. He sees Val inside the castle in a cocoon, and he has to kill a snake to get to her. Later, Peter comes into the game and Ender freaks out. Graf and Anderson watch on, perplexed. None of this is supposed to be in the game. They think Ender has manipulated the game. But later on, we find out that the Formics are the ones that put all those things into the mind game.
I don't know how they got there, though.
Yeah, they use their brain powers because that's how they communicate. They got into the mind game, and so at the end, when he goes into the planet, that all of that planet was in the game. And the cocoon that was in the game is the cocoon of the little baby Formic at the end. Maybe if you were paying attention and you gave it all your love.
I was paying attention. I understood that it was the aliens, but I don't know how they got into the game.
Yeah.
It was just laying around and then they went... Nyoo.
They work telepathically. We know that because the queen...
Then why can't they just go telepathically into their brain and say...
We're not the same. We don't have the same brain power. They were able to hack into the system, but they don't hack into our brains.
Yes, they can.
After the game,
you have such little faith in these Formics.
Well, they're all gone now. Well, not all, as you'll find out at the end, which I'll explain to you because obviously you didn't understand the movie. After the game, Ender is promoted to be commander of his own team, the Dragons. I mean, why is the dragon not have? There's a salamander team, but there's no dragon team. Yeah. Come on, man. The dragons are way cooler than the salamanders.
It's like a snail versus a tiger.
His team has some of his old friends like Bean, Eli, Petra, and Bernard. So Bernard is coming to their side and he's no longer the bully. He does things differently.
Had a change of heart.
He had a change of heart. Well, I think Ender also welcomed them. He's like, I know that we've had our differences kind of thing, but welcome to the team. I can't wait to see what you can do kind of thing.
Seems as though he didn't beat this guy until he would never beat him again.
Yeah. He just did it with kindness. He does things differently, like welcoming input and advice. As a test, the dragons have to compete against 2 teams, the salamanders and the leopards at the same time. To make things worse, the salamanders and the leopards have a head start to set traps for the dragons. Even with all this against Ender, he outsmarts them. As a last resort, the dragons create a formation where everyone sacrifices themselves to get one person to the other team's base. It works, and they win. Don't you think that was cool? They all became a gigantic vessel, and they all crowded around Eli, and then he got to the end because he was the smallest. Bonzo is furious and attacks Ender in the shower. Ender fights back, and Bonzo falls and hits his head and needs surgery. Ender is very upset and wants to see his sister to go home. Graf tells him to toughen up, and Ender just quits. The fact that he can quit was shocking to me, because they looked like they didn't have any say in anything.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to talk to home. And then he's like, I quit. And I guess they allow them to quit.
They're just like, okay.
I would have thought they were almost
I would have quit there. 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, definitely. We never find out what happened to Bonzo, but I think...
He dies.
Yeah, Sophia told me that he dies.
Well, I think they made it pretty clear in the movie
he's getting
that
surgery.
He died.
You see him getting surgery, he's having brain surgery. So you don't know if he dies or not.
I thought Petra said he wasn't going to make it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you don't know because he's having surgery when they talk. Anyways, so from what I understand, he dies. And I think Sophia even told me, because Sophia read the book, and this is Tio Iso's one of his favorite books too. She said that I think he killed the boy from the beginning of the movie, the one that he wouldn't stop beating. that he died as well, or something like that. All right, correct us if you know, but I think that's what she said to me.
Email us at papipromovies@gmail.com.
That's papipromovies@gmail.com. At home, Val convinces Ender to go back to battle school and face his fears.
Why?
Yeah, I know, right?
Why?
Yeah, Ender listens because
It's a terrible idea.
And she's the kind one, right?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you be like, just stay here with me? We'll hang out. We'll become buddies again.
Yeah, she herself dropped out of this battle school.
No, I think they kicked her out. They didn't drop her out.
Oh, I thought that she dropped out because she was.
I don't think she made it.
Do it.
You know, she just could. They just didn't make it. You know.
Well, anyways, she herself couldn't even do it. Why would she be like, go back, face your fears? Like, no, stay here.
Yeah, stay home. Ender listens to her, and Kraft picks him up and takes him to command school. So command school is on an old Formic planet that Earth has taken over. Ender looks out, and there's debris that looks like the collapsed castle from the mind game. Because it was the Formics who put that into the mind game. Wow. Look, you're today years old when you figured out what this happened in this movie. The next morning, Ender wakes up, and Mazer Rackham is in the room. Mazer becomes his mentor and trains him. Mazer tells him that the Formics have a hive mind, and the reason he won the battle on Earth is because he killed the queen. Ender's mission is to kill all the queens when they attack Earth. His crew, Eli, Bean, Petra, and Bernard all join him at command school. So they all come to command school as well. His team from the Dragons.
His squad.
His crew. Battle simulations begin. They play each round trying to win and become ready to do it in real life. It goes on for months, and Ender and his crew are racking up victories. See that, racking? No. I take so much care into writing these beautiful prose recaps, and you don't even care. The simulations get harder and more complex. Eventually they are so hard that sometimes Ender and his team fail, and Mazer and Graf are very disappointed.
I don't know why.
Because he fails.
But like, it's supposed to be training, quotation marks. So why does it matter? He's supposed to be learning.
But it's not training. We know that.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. So why are they like her?
They're upset because 1 million people just died. Like their friends and their army mates. All right, we'll find that. Spoiler alert, we're going to the end. On graduation day, the team has one final simulation. They will attack and destroy the Formics planet. The simulation begins, and the Formics come out to meet Ender. Ender hesitates because he believes they want to negotiate. But the brass tells him to attack, and he listens. The simulation is the toughest one yet, and there are many casualties. Ender ends up sacrificing almost everyone for Petra to have one clean shot on the planet. It works, and Petra destroys the Formics planet. Ender and his crew beat the simulation. So kind of like the same as the Battlezone game.
Yeah.
He sacrificed everybody for the one shot to win. And that's kind of the same thing he did here.
Yeah.
But we find out something. Mazer and Graf are proud of Ender, and he comes to realize that the simulations were actually real, using real ship, humans, and real Formics.
So they were just in a ship and they didn't even know it.
Yeah, they were controlling the ships from their console. You know, they were telling people what to do. They were sending people to die.
So who was in the ship that they were?
Real humans, like the army.
No, but like Petra didn't make her shot. Someone else did.
No, Petra made the shot.
So they were also in a ship.
Yeah, everybody. So all 5 of I think there was one more person too. It could have been more. Everyone had their own command ship full of like soldiers, full of like lasers, full of battleships and like spacecraft and all that. All of that. They were full of people, like hundreds of thousands of people probably. And then almost all of them died. And even when Petra did the final shot, like, I don't know if she died too, but everybody died. But we beat the Formics.
Yippee! I think this was a good plot twist, so that's why I give it 2 stars.
Should have been 3 stars. Ender wakes up in his room and realizes the Formics were the ones who put the images and ideas of the mind game into his head. He goes out onto the planet and finds a Formic queen egg and the mother. The mother is old and sick, and he promises that he will find a home for the egg, and he takes it. Ender at the end of the movie is now an admiral, and he takes off on a spaceship with the egg in tow, looking for a new home to restart the Formix. The end. Yeah, I mean, he was crushed because he thought it was a game, and then when he came to realize he sacrificed thousands of human lives and killed billions of Formix lives. And maybe they wanted to negotiate.
Yeah.
Maybe they wanted to say, hey, we're not going to attack you. And they didn't attack us, but we attacked them and destroyed them. Messed up, bro.
See, why are these adults forcing these children?
Because they're able to do it. And they did it cold and calculated and slaughtered a whole entire civilization. So it worked.
I think that they could have done this with some other adults and pinned everything on him, just like they did on the children.
Yeah. Because the adults would probably be like more understanding.
And also, why is...
Not Bonzo. If Bonzo was there, he would have been like, I'll kill all the Formix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ender wasn't that person.
Or like Petra, she's more like, it's okay, Ender. But she's the one who set off the giant laser and killed everyone.
Right.
She's the one who killed all the Formix, not him. Yet she doesn't care.
Well, he's the leader.
But still.
Right. I mean, they're all guilty, right?
Yeah, but no one else cares except for Ender.
Well, because he's the leader. Like, it all falls on him. I mean, maybe it would be impossible for anyone else to do it except for him. He had the ability. That's why they groomed him to be that person. And they've had it. They've tried before and just unsuccessful. There have been others, remember? Ender asked Mazer Rackham, has there been others? And he's like, yes, they've failed. I don't know. Pretty good. Could this movie still be made today?
Yeah. I don't see any issues with it.
It was perfectly built for a modern, young woman such as yourself to enjoy and love. And there's no issues at all. All right. Does it pass the Bechdel test?
No.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the Bechdel test. Bechdel test is a test to check for female representation in a movie. There are 3 criteria. Criteria number 1. Are there 2 or more named females?
Yeah, there's Valentine and there is Petra.
And then Anderson, the psychologist. Okay, good. So we passed number 1. Number 2, do they ever talk to each other?
No.
I don't think they even see each other, right?
No. They're all in different sections of the movie.
So I only passed 1 of 3. All right, it didn't pass the Bechdel test. Not too good. Anything else you want to talk about the movie?
I thought that Peter was unnecessary in the movie. Mm-hmm. It felt like it was going somewhere, and then it didn't. You know, like it made me think, like, oh, we're gonna get Peter's storyline. We're gonna understand why Ender is so afraid of him, like all of this and that, and then nothing happened. Also, Valentine also felt like she was gonna have a story, and all she does is take him on a boat and says, "Go face your fears and go kill everyone."
I wonder if Peter and Valentine knew that the simulation was real. Do you think that Ender is all the kids are the only ones in the dark? That everybody else knew? That'd be messed up. That would make Valentine even worse.
Yeah.
And the reason she didn't make it is because she was too kind. That doesn't make sense. When she was not that way for her brother.
Yeah, so I don't understand.
So if you had said that her character was way different in the book, or there's a lot more to it, I think...
She says that in the book, her and Peter went and, like, ruled the entire world while Ender was gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe Tio Isel has to chime in here. Maybe you can email us, Tio Isel. I know he's read the book. I have it on Audible. I just never listened to it.
Well, I know you never will.
I'll put it in your headphones so you can listen to it while you sleep. And then you'll, like, know when you wake up. You're like, I know everything in the movie now. Anytime they make a movie out of a book, there's always going to be a problem because there's so much in a book that you can't put in a movie. And they put little things here and there. Like maybe the Peter thing is way developed in the book.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they develop it into a movie, then they should make it make sense by taking, like, you have to have a standalone movie. Like in Forrest Gump, that's a book, and I could go my entire life without reading that book and it's still one of the most amazing movies. Or Mean Girls. Maybe that's not like known as an amazing, wonderful movie like Forrest Gump, but I could also never read that book and I'd perfectly know all the references and it would make sense as a movie. It stands alone. This movie does not stand alone. It just didn't make sense if it's so incomplete. And I think that the siblings were just like, it felt like they were missing even though they were there.
There were comic book adaptations that have them all. And then they have Battle School and then Command School. Those are like 2 books. And there's the Battle School and Command School for Bean. So you see Bean's life and what happens where he's from. He's from the streets. Like he lived a hard life. And then how he gets to Command School. So like maybe they were thinking of doing that, like a movie from a different perspective and then the rest would be filled in. I don't know. But I don't think it was good. I do wonder T.O.E. Sill's take on this. Like, does he like the movie? Because he knows the book so well.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think.
Oh, Elizabeth. Elizabeth also likes the book. I think she's read it too, if I remember properly. We'll have to ask her too. I think
it was a good adaptation. Even though I haven't read the book, I can already tell that it's missing a lot of substance just because I watched it and I felt like there were holes.
Holes, yeah. All right, well, is there anything else?
No.
Thank you for tuning into Papi Approved Movies.
If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast app or like our podcast on YouTube.
We put out an episode every Monday.
If you want to see extra podcast content, follow our TikTok at Papi Approved Movies.
If you want to suggest a movie for us to watch and critique,
email us at papiapprovedmovies@gmail.com.
That's papiapprovedmovies@gmail.com. No spaces, no caps.
We'll try our best to get to your suggestion, and remember, it has to be PG-13.
Next week, Sophia will be back and we'll be watching The Matrix.
And I'll be back in 2 weeks to watch Joe Dirt.
I'm Papi.
And I'm Natalie.
See you next time.
Bye.